Hi everyone, this is Texas Tiger Digs again. I'm going to do another one of these videos where I'm basically talking and pointing, and sometimes they're liked and sometimes they're not liked, but I think I'm making a point here. A while back, I don't know, maybe a month, 2 months back, I made this big statement that small parks are better, and I'm sticking by that in the context of how I hunt. Now, large parks are good, but I still think that you cannot actually detect a large park unless you use the same small park principles I'm going to talk about here. And this very bad illustration here is a park that I really have come to love because it's given me the 2 gold rings I've got and 4 or so of the silver rings I've gotten. So I really have no qualms about saying I love this little park. Now this park, I saw it from the road and I was driving by, and it was not one that immediately hopped to mind as a place I wanted to go because it was adjacent to an elementary school. Now it is a city park, but it's adjacent to an elementary school, so I wasn't going to detect when the kids were out, because this little illustration here basically shows the division between the school, which is here, and the city park, which encompasses most of the rest of this diagram. So there are small stand of trees, and the kids would come out and play. And I never saw the kids, even though I wasn't on the park. I would pass it a lot going back and forth at lunch. And I would never see the kids go beyond this little partition of trees, because this is the city park, that's the school grounds. And of course, children are supposed to be on the school grounds during school hours. So, so I did not over hunt this park during time school was going on. I would hunt it after school hours. I would hunt some on the weekends. And of course, when school ended, then it became open field to hunt at any time, basically, since there weren't any school kids around. But now I made the statement that small parks are best, and this is the data I'm working from. I've got one large park that is just huge. I mean, huge by this area standards, and I have detected that park and found 3 rings, 2 silver. But this park has given me 2 gold rings, 4 silver rings, in an area that's not much more than 2.5 acres. Now that's amazing. But there's another thing about these small parks. These small parks are not only small in size, they usually are small in function. So this park, this is, I suppose I could have put an actual diamond here, but this park has a baseball field where I see a lot of little leaguers practicing during the baseball season. And it has this area of the city park over here, which is basically a large field. And I see a lot of young people as well as people darn near my age out here playing soccer or football for you purists. So they're out there, and I've also seen practices for American football out there as well. So this is a multi-use park, but it's a very focused area where these people are doing their activities. So when I saw this park, I said, oh, this park should be worth, and by the way, this area here, I'm not going to do, this area here is simply a tennis court, or a couple of tennis courts. All right. Now, the reason I think that small parks are best is the results I've gotten from this park. And let me show you the areas of focus that have given me the results. This is the area of trees, and like I tell you, I live in a very hot area. This is North Texas, and right now we're hitting 100 pretty consistently. So I thought this tree area would be a good place to hunt. I have found at this tree area, and it's approximately these positions, 2 junk rings, 3 silver rings, all within this small area and stand of trees and the area immediately around it. Not between the trees, but the areas immediately around these areas. I found 5 rings. And I found another ring that was just off this area right there in the middle. That's just a grassy area that leads from behind the baseball field to this other area, which is basically an empty area over here. And I do see some small field soccer practices over here, etc. So that area has produced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rings in effect. And I don't believe you could get that type of compressed activity almost anywhere else but a small park. Now let's hit the big boys. I have found 2 gold rings in this park. 2 heavy gold rings. One a class ring, one a platinum and gold. I think they call it Diana ring, which is a wedding band, a man's wedding band. Big rings, big ones. And I found one here. Now this is an area that's between. This is a parking lot. With a little grassy area in between. I found this in a area that has some of the red soil that they came in to make the diamond, and I popped it out right there, right at the edge of a field of pool tabs. They're very fortunate. I'm not putting anything beyond the fact there's a lot of luck involved in finding this one. But the luck was there, but I was there where the luck was because I like this park. Now, let me go out into the outfield here, about here. This is where I found my latest gold ring. This is the other. This is where I found my latest gold ring in the outfield of the baseball diamond. This is the baseball diamond area. This is the backstop, and of course it has above ground dugouts. This is basically a fixed dugout area here. So there are 2 gold rings in that small isolated area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rings altogether. This is 5. No, this is 2 junk rings, 4 silver rings, and that's great. And over here, like I said, this is another empty grassy area, but there's a tot lot here. There's also one here immediately by the school. I didn't actually put that. That's on school grounds. I'm talking about the park here. Now this tot lot over here, I believe, is park area. So the park area actually goes sort of like an L and covers all of this area below the trees and including that tot lot there. I've gone through this tot lot a few times, found nothing. It's just pebbles. It's a pebble tot lot. I found nothing at all. So, but there's a parking lot here. That is part of the school grounds, and I found another silver ring right there. So now over on the city park grounds, now I found some clad in here. Surprisingly enough, despite the fact I have not found any silver or anything in this whole entire area, which kind of surprised me because I thought that there might be something there. But it is an area where they play soccer, and soccer is not usually played in street clothes. Like I've always said, what you want to see is the equivalent of a basketball pickup game, touch football, cricket in a nearby park here. This is very near college. Those are things that are done in everyday clothes, and those are where things would tend to be lost. All right, so this is the little world I'm talking about of a small park. Now out here is a city street. And that's at that city street was where I looked over and saw this park. These mounds here are mounds that are surrounding the open park area, sort of so the people in cars can't really get a good clear view of what's going on in the park. Sort of like a shield for sound, etc. So I'm sure that's basically where it was created. So that's all I'm saying here. Is the good thing about a small park is they tend to be very focused in their activity. There's a baseball field, there's a equivalent of a soccer field, touch football field over here, there are tennis courts over here. I found nothing around those tennis courts either. But, you know, tennis people playing tennis are not actually outside and in street clothes either. especially not with 100-degree weather. So that's basically what I'm saying. So when you pass these small parks, I know the experienced detectorists are not going to ignore them, because they probably have seen the exact same thing I've seen here. It's compressed area, and the compressed activity leads to compressed finds. But I just want to let you know that this is what you're doing. And by the way, I've also said this before, if you live in a hot climate, detect around the trees. Now, that probably would be in any climate, but in an extraordinarily hot climate, you're going to get a lot of activity around those trees. I found a lot of clad there, and I found a bunch of rings there. 1, 2, 3, 4 silver, 2 junk rings. Now, I did find a couple of junk rings over here in what would be an area. This is fenced too. What would be an area around here, and there's some trees around here. I haven't really given it the thorough search I would like, but it's very junky, very pull tab thick. In fact, I told you I was pull tab farming in that area for a while, just digging pull tab after pull tab after pull tab after pull tab. Well, I got frustrated with that. That doesn't mean I'm gonna quit. I just got frustrated temporarily. In any case, this is basically all I've got. I just wanted to let you know, if you're going to a small park and basically baseball diamonds. Now, I found 3 rings around baseball diamonds. These 2 gold rings, and I found a silver ring next to another. I did not understand baseball diamonds would be that great a place to detect, but baseball is often played in street clothes as well, so that also might be the reason that it's fine thick around there. Now, I'm not saying little league, but I am saying the older people would tend to just have on their shorts and the thing, just go out there and play baseball, and and God knows what they'll lose out there. So that's basically what I wanted to say. I've also did heavy detecting around here. And because this could be a viewing area, but I've found nothing but clad here as well. That doesn't mean I'm not through with this area, so there may be more to add. But I just want to tell you this one little bit. Don't overlook the small parks, and don't overlook baseball diamonds, and be certain to check around trees. Now, most of this is basic knowledge, but I just want to let people know, don't forget the small parks, because the big parks are only detectable if you divide them up into small parks. So when you go to a big park, you're not going to be detecting back in the wooded area all of the time. You might go back there and you might hit a few. I've done that. I haven't hit much, a few pennies, but I have very limited expectations back there. But I go where the fields are. I go where the soccer fields are, where the baseball fields are, anywhere where there's people activity, especially where people might be doing it in street clothes. Soccer, they don't do it in street clothes so often in soccer fields, but soccer fields are still a good place to look, because you have a very energetic and quite often very active spectators. And they're sometimes more animated than the actual players. In any case, that's all I've got. So I hope that this didn't bore anybody. I've got a few finds from a couple of hunts last week. I haven't been able to get them together. I would have done that as well as this later, but I'm house sitting for friends and dog sitting. So I'm about 40 or 50 miles away from my home, and the finds, so it wouldn't be a very good roundup without showing something to round up. In any case, this is Texas Tiger Digs, and I will catch you later. And let me know what you think about this. Let me know your experience in small parks, big parks, and any strategy you've got, because I'm always interested in learning new things, and I'm learning new things every day. Some by experience, and a lot by all of my friends here on YouTube. In any case, I will talk to you later. You have a wonderful day. And I will hopefully be in the vicinity of my house in the next 24 hours or so, and I'll be able to actually do a roundup of my finds, not spectacular, but finds of last week.